Welcome back to CRIBBS and the CLE. Now, it took me a while to realize this, but it's all about who you know and the connections that you make that get you places in life.
And here to give us tips on how to make the most out of each relationship is senior technology executive, unicorn investor, exponential leader, and author, David Olivencia.
How you doing,
Did I
David?
say that right?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Olivencia, right?
I love it. It's
Right.
like perfecto.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, David, can I just say, I got my hands on your book yesterday. So I was able to dive into the first few chapters. And this really hits home for me because I am not the best networker. Your book, Networking Excellence, is kind of like right on time for me. Can you explain to our viewers what made you come up with this book right here? And then how did you manage to work your way up to the corporate ladder and move and shake and even end up in the White House? Tell us about yourself.
So, I've been able to climb the corporate executive ranks through networking, right, to senior executive levels at Fortune 100 companies, all through networking, invest in some unicorn startups. Networking helped me find them and fund them and help them grow. And networking has also helped me find and fund and found some of the leading organizations, technology leadership organizations in the world, but all through networking, right? And it's just such a vital skill. So, and I also wanted to fulfill demand. Josh and Maria, if you ask people out there, what's the #1 skill to find a job, to accelerate in your career, to more rapidly accomplish your goals? Everybody says, it's networking, it's networking. But they don't teach this in school, and we kind of stumble upon it. So that's the second reason I wrote the book. And there's a lot more tips, techniques, and tools, Maria, to help you and others more rapidly, more efficiently become excellent at networking.
You know what, David? It's very unique because a lot of times people are shy. I know myself and Maria, we're not the networking type to try to go and make somebody feel like we need them to escalate ourselves. How do you navigate that, that timid feeling of being shy and not?
Like you don't want to bother somebody.
Like you don't want to bother someone. You have any tips on that realm, that
barrier? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's two sides of that. One is you want to deeply understand yourself, what your mission, what your goals are, what value you can bring to any relationship. Then on the other side, you want to understand the person you want to network with and what do they care about? What are their goals? What's their purpose, mission in life? And how are the assets and the value, the things that you could bring a value to that person to help them be successful? So networking is about mutual success. How, in an ongoing way, how can you help them become mutually successful and accomplish their goals? And you'll see that both of you in an ongoing way. It's a win-win relationship, and it makes life fun because you're helping them. They're happy, they're helping you, you're happy, and you do this in an ongoing way.
I love it, David. I'm showing Josh right here on page 16 where I underlined where it said mutual goal accomplishments, because sometimes, if you're a taker, it can become one-sided. But when it comes to networking, you explain in your book how it's about mutual connections. And I like also how you put, and me and Josh were reading this last night, how you said 70% of jobs, they never really publish the job. It's all about who you know and your network. That's amazing.
That's right. That's right. And so it's about building these networks before you need them. And if you're looking for a job in a certain area, you're identifying who are the right people that are kind of connected in this industry. How do I get to know them? But more importantly, how do I help them? What can I do to help them? What are all the assets that I can bring to help that person and their organization be successful, so that when there is an opening, you're the first person that comes to their mind.
Now, David, I have to ask you just straight up, how did you get so good at networking? Were you always like the outspoken, wild one? Like
an extrovert?
Did it take time to get to be a master networker?
When I was young, I used to have pretty good parties, and I was a DJ, so that was one of it.
So you like being a social butterfly.
That's another episode. But I read a lot of books on the topic, around the topic. I was around a lot of great people and mentors who helped me learn about networking. I was a part of a lot of networks. And then I've just started to put all these things into action, right? In life, you're exposed to a lot of things, but if you don't take action, you don't accomplish things, right? So it was a mixture of all those. And then in my book, I also interview 30 phenomenal leaders that have achieved networking excellence, and then they share their stories as well. So it's a bit of early in my life, but a bit of just taking action, learning, and mentors along the way.
I love it. Now, David, Josh is pointing your book. He's talking about now it's hard to network possibly because everything's so digital. Can you explain to us real fast, how do you network in this digital age?
Yeah, everybody's want to be typing and writing over the computer when word of mouth and meeting somebody face to face may be the key.
Is it harder or easier now?
It's both. it's harder and easier, but it goes back, Marie and Josh, to your foundation. Who are you? What do you believe? What are your goals? And who's the right network? Because, you know, we can network with thousands of people and attend and be a part of thousands of network, but people who achieve networking excellence are very, very focused. So with leveraging social media, if you have that foundation, you can use it to follow people, like people, share content to the world. That's content of value that helps them be successful, that helps you connect, that you're liking, sharing, amplifying content of people that are in your network that you want to help be successful. So you can do it through digital. You can also do it in person. I think digital gives you a lot more opportunity to connect in the middle of the night when you're traveling, etc. But yeah, you can
I love it. And you know what, Josh? What David just said, it says, because David, I don't know if you noticed about me, I want to be the next Oprah or possibly Ellen or Steve Harvey, right? So I think what David said was, David said slide into their DMs or just go outside their house and wait for them and become part of their network.
She better not be sliding in their DMs.
David, tell our viewers, I couldn't put your book down. Tell our viewers, where can they buy the book and where can they go for more information?
So you can get the book at any fine bookstore at Amazon.com. You can just Networking Excellence. It's a top bestseller on Amazon.com.
Thank you, David. LinkedIn. Okay, they'll find you, David.
LinkedIn, you can find me as well on all social
media.
media.
I posted on our show, so viewers, if you have any trouble networking, as I do myself, make sure you grab his book. It's a page turner, has so many valuable resources in there. I couldn't put it down. So look, we got more Cribs in the CLE. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.